Hello everyone and welcome back to my garden and happy first day of spring. Very excited. Today's March 20th and I wanted to give you guys a mid-March garden tour because we have about, I don't know, 10 projects going on all at once. And so I thought it would be helpful to show you guys what we're actually doing. I've shared some of this on my prior videos, and just be kind when you're watching this because we're in project mode and it's still early spring. So well, you know, everything's not perfect quite yet and things aren't blooming. What I wanted to show you guys first though is we just recently installed this new arbor. There's a oh my gosh, just forgot the name, America rose on climbing rose on each side. That should be beautiful. We also added several roses in the last couple days, and I have a bunch more coming. So I have an ebb tide, and I have an all dressed up right here. So this, I'm gonna call this not a rose LA because it's not climbing roses, but just roses in general. I'll show you the other roses in just a second, but you might be wondering what in the world is going on here. This was our fire pit. We had our chairs around it, if you haven't seen my prior videos. And this is the area where we are gonna put in a circle, and I'm going to fill these sections. This was our fire pit. I'm gonna put a piece of wood on top of there, and hi Tail Bear, hi baby. And we're gonna put a fountain on the top. Well, first I'm gonna put a piece of plywood, paint it black, and then the fountain, but we're gonna also do another layer of bricks around that area, and then you'll see kind of an outline of a circle, a 10-foot circle. We're putting one of our arbors down as a bed, and I think it's gonna be about 10 inches in height, and I'm gonna be planting roses and oh so easy Italian ice I was gonna say boxwoods, roses. The boxwoods, I'm either gonna use North Star or Independence New Gen boxwoods, so stay tuned. I'm not sure which ones yet, but the roses are gonna be beautiful. If you haven't seen oh so easy Italian ice, go take a peek. They're so pretty. So I'm hoping you guys can hear me today because I'm not mic'd up, and it's just kind of an impromptu video because I wanted to make sure to share with you guys what we're doing. You guys can see this in progress. I always like to go back and see how things look. It's also for obviously my benefit, so I can see where we're at in our projects. I used AI today to kind of generate what I was hoping for. I already have it in my mind, but AI did a really good job of designing this out for me. So that was kind of fun. And then over here, these are gonna go out into the field, which is over there. I'm gonna put a new fire pit out there so we just have a place to, you know, sit by the fire in the summer months, which we haven't done a whole lot of lately, the last couple years. And then over here I have, these are the other two roses, another all dressed up because I just thought they were beautiful. And this one, I forget what this one is. This one is State of Grace. She's beautiful. And I purchased these online as well. Where did I get these? Heirloom or Great Garden Plants, I can't remember. And they are Weeks roses. These roses, that rose right there, and then these three over here, these are the ones that my husband purchased at a vendor in the valley. They just grow roses. I'm not sure. Anyways, there's no names on them. I don't know what they are, but they were only $5 a piece. So as I mentioned when I was talking about kind of the Rose Lane, this will be Rose Lane because there's roses going all the way down. Again, that's our new arbor back there. So that's what it looks like from this side. And those burgundy brown pots back there, I plan on planting fresco, cascading hydrangeas, and they're new with proven winners this year. So very excited about that. Again, the roses that are flanking that arbor are the America. They're really, really pretty. And again, you can see we have, you know, things are still in progress as far as a lot of things are still sleeping. I'll come back over here too so you guys can see. I was going to tell you, I couldn't figure out why last year all of my climbing roses, well, all four that I have before I added these guys, and I'll show you which arbor I'm mentioning in a minute, but these are the Eden roses, and they were so slow to grow, but I just learned that Edens are slow to grow. First year they really just work on putting in the roots, but this is impressive to me. You can see I can actually start turning this up, so I'm very excited about that. And then I thought my Zephyrin Druin had died, but it's doing well. And then I have some exciting news because my other Zephyrin, I thought I lost it. well, not physically lost it, but lost it, meaning I thought it died, and it's actually doing very well. I also learned the name of this rose. I couldn't remember it. This is called Yellow Garden Sun, I believe. So anyways, that was exciting to figure out which rose that was. And again, I'll just kind of go around. I'm going to do another video at the end of March just because, well, a lot of things are waking up. My maples are starting to wake up. I chatted the Portland Northwest gardening group on Facebook to ask them about my Ruby Falls redbud because I don't see any buds yet. And you know, people can be kind of snarky. One said, well, it's not even spring yet. Well, today is spring. It was just yesterday that I asked. But also I had looked up information regarding the Ruby Red Falls redbud, and they typically bloom in early March or mid-April. So I didn't think it was a silly question, but anyways, another gal responded back kindly saying that hers hasn't done anything yet either. So we just need to be patient. I also wanted to show you this bed needs compost. We're not going to judge that, or bark dust, or oh my goodness, I can't talk today. But anyways, I did move my Sprinter boxwoods out here because they're going to stay tiny. And what I did instead is, I thought these were all wintergreen. Some of them are. I still have mismatched boxwoods. So it turns out I have at least 3 different varieties. But anyways, the little wintergreen ones are out here now. Again, the ones I'm going to plant around this circle is going to be North Star or Independence New Gen, which is also part of the Proven Winners line. I think they merged with them. So anyways, that'll be exciting. I forgot to mention these roses on this side. They were those $5 roses as well. But I'm always impressed with watching roses and perennials in general too. The first year, they really are just trying to establish roots. And so now you can see this is year 2. And there's a lot more leaf coverage, and I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot more blooms this year. Let's see what else. Let's come back over here. This arbor, see what I mean by those roses? That is my Cecile Brunner, or Brunet, depends on how you want to enunciate it. I like the French version. And my honeymoon rose, and they actually met at the top last year, the end of last summer. In fact, in my August video, if you go take a peek, you'll see that as well. It's first year, so I was so impressed, and that made me think that possibly my Eden roses had something wrong with them. I'm not the most patient person. You can ask my husband, but really it's just a matter of letting those roots get established so that they can grow. I wanted to show you this because in my last video that was done the beginning of March, my March garden tour, early March garden tour, I should say, I mentioned that this is about ready to leaf out, this Japanese maple, and you can see it actually is leafing out as we speak. So that's very exciting. Let's see what else. So roses, I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to gardening. I'm a rose addict. I'm a geranium, a perennial hardy geranium addict, all the things. And if I'm talking fast today, it's just because I'm so excited because there's so many things I want to share with you guys. And these big pots right here, I have Miss Earth Angel, and she was so beautiful and lovely. Her flowers kind of resembled peonies, and so anyways, I can't wait to show you again this year because I'm assuming they're gonna be more prolific, even more so than last year, just because this is their second year. Even in this bed over here, lots of things are starting to wake up, and some things, as I mentioned in my first video, never went to sleep, like some of my daylilies. I have a Wine and Shine Weigelia, however you want to enunciate it. I'm sure I'm saying it incorrectly. Anyways, when I was pruning back all of my stuff, I didn't mean to, but I accidentally pruned some of these. So there's a few branches that are not going to bloom this year because they bloom on old wood, I think. So that's okay. Anyways, it's leafing out, looks beautiful. Let me see what else. My peonies are starting to come up. Where are they at? There we go. I don't know what variety this is, but we had an early spring, like just a really warm spring. And we have a couple nice days coming up. Today was supposed to be some rain. You can see it's damp outside, but it wasn't too bad. But I'll just kind of walk you guys around and then show you what else that we did and what we're doing. So I'm a little behind on my seedlings. because while I work full-time and working on projects outside in the evenings, it's just hard to keep up with everything. And then our greenhouse, my husband is also re-siding the inside. It was built just a couple months ago, but he's putting siding on the inside just to kind of finish it off, and it's looking so pretty. Let me see what else I want to show you guys. Emerald green arborvitaes, the $3 ones that we purchased from Marketplace, doing awesome. We got 20 of those if you're brand new to my channel. Amazing deal, $3 a piece, pretty good size. And we planted them a couple months ago. These ones back here, not such a great deal. I paid $18.99, I think, on Amazon, so close to 20 bucks. And they're tiny, but they will fill in eventually. And then back there, I have some more of the $3 versions. I mentioned in my last video that I was going to move these grasses. They were in that front flower bed that I showed you earlier where I planted the wintergreen boxwoods. So I dug those up, moved those, and I forgot to mention, let me try to do this without making anybody sick. If I go back to that same bed right there, if you guys can see, right over there, that same bed had the globe thistle that I actually moved as well, and I put the globe thistle in that back bed by that truck, primarily because they just get so tall, and I actually do want some height in that back bed. And again, I think I've mentioned a couple times, if I had my druthers, I would put some emerald green arborvitaes up there too. My goal for this whole area is to kind of formalize it, but also I want it to feel enclosed. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of addicted to these Moongate arbors that my husband designs, because I want to enclose this entire area. I want it to have little seating areas. I want it to feel cozy. I want it to feel, you know, somewhat polished. So anyways, the boxwoods that I planted over there, those are the Green Mountain, doing amazing. This bed I might be planting the other boxwoods that I don't use for that project over there. I'm just not sure which ones I'm going to use yet. Also, I need to apologize. As I continue to grow my YouTube channel and just do my videos in general, I'm learning plant names a little bit better, meaning things that I have mispronounced, or I was told this was a lemon cypress. It is not a lemon cypress. It's a yellow lemon cypress. I think that's what it's called. And I learned that from Robbie's channel. So Robbie, thank you. And if I said it wrong, someone correct me again. This bed I absolutely love. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, but I think I have 11 new roses on top of the ones that I just bought coming in the next 2 weeks. I also have a bunch of boxwoods, 2 different varieties that are going to be here soon as well. So, and then perennials and shrubs. I'm just so excited. If I come over to this side, this is kind of my wildflower area that I did, well, it'll be 2 years now, but I do have some hardy geraniums in here that I planted as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this as is or dig up some of the lupin. Some of you might cringe for me to say that, and some of my hollyhocks, but I'm not sure yet. So stay tuned for that. But I also have, well, I have to get a place. I have to have a place to plant my new shrubs and perennials. So this is going to be a good spot. And sorry, I didn't know if he was going to go to the bathroom. This bed right here has a lot of verbena in it, but now here we go. I wanted to show you this new arbor that we just did. Now, I mentioned I was going to put an 8-foot arbor right there. Well, we changed our mind. This is one of the 10 feet. This is the same size that we're going to use as a flower bed, like this one. This one's 8 feet, I believe, though. So we're going to take one of those, but it's only going to be about 10 inches. And you know, that's not 10 inches, but obviously, but in depth. So when it goes on the ground, and then we'll put some correlated metal. I always say things wrong, so just laugh at me if that's incorrect. And then on each side of this, I have a David Austin Generous Gardener rose that on each side that I just got this week. And so my poor husband has been diligently out here helping me get all these projects done. But in my defense, I moved gravel this morning at 6 this morning to try to get ready for that other project. So I had to rake that all out by the fire pit. And then this bed, I've also shared that we're going to do a half moon bed similar to, let me come back over here and not make you sick, as that half moon bed right here. So I really like that kind of style. If you haven't noticed, I really like circular beds. When I first moved in, well, when we first designed this, so if you're brand new, we live in a garden, we live in zone 9A, although I am in my garden, it feels like living out here. We live in a zone 9A, which is not like a California zone 9A. We're about 20 minutes inland from Newport, Oregon and Toledo. And it's pretty cool. And 70s, maybe 80s in the summertime, but not super hot temperatures like typical 9A is. Which makes a really ideal climate for us because, you know, I feel old and I like the cooler temperatures. Sometimes it can delay the growth on some of my plants for the beginning of the month. I mean, the beginning of summer, and I'm sorry. I'm distracted because my puppies are about ready to run up the road. Come on, you guys. Come on, puppers. Get down here. Tab Bear, come on. Anyways, back to life over here. So anyways, the reason why I mentioned that is, well, I just want to make sure you guys, if you're brand new to our channel, you know what zone we live in. But anyways, so this kind of round moon bed, but when I first moved in, this was all grass, and most of the time by July it's dead. So our solution, end of April, beginning of May of 2024, we redesigned our whole front yard and turned our dead grass and no beds into a beautiful rock garden. Now, we did have some of these beds that I did a couple years back. This long one to an extent, and I'll show you in a minute. And then that back long bed that I just walked by, and that bed that's out by the truck, and this bed. But all the other beds that you're looking at this way were all designed May of 2024. So it'll be 2 full years this April and May. And so we did this one last spring and put this other rock down here. And then I mentioned this bed was done, but we actually added 24 feet in the last, well, it'll be 2 years now. So we're I'm running out of gardening space. Please send more land. This is our field that we used for our cows. However, that being said, our cows, we don't have any right now. And the other thing is we've had really high winds this last year that toppled a bunch of our trees. Difficult to see here, you can see some of them, but we have a bunch of trees down on our property. If you come over here, you see that one, but there's a lot more where our fence line is, so the cows would get out if we actually had them right now. So my dream, you guys need to help me convince my husband, my dream is to carry my garden out. Now I will this spring move the fire pit out there with the chairs, so, because it is nice having a little space to sit out by the fire in the warm spring, not spring is not warm here, summer nights. So anyways, you can tell we're doing a lot of different projects. Again, this is going to be a half moon. So I really love round beds. And as I mentioned, when I first moved in, I didn't know how much I was going to be designing. Excuse me. So I just did these long beds, rectangular. And so I really, if I had my druthers, this would have been probably circular with more walkways and so forth. But, you know, it is what it is. So I think that about covers all of our projects. So we just installed this one this week. And this one, and planted roses on each side. I'm going to probably use the small round rock down below and around that moon bed over there as well once I kind of complete this project. As I mentioned, we have a ton of roses coming, and by that way, that half moon bed over there, and I just want to show you cute Malaya. She's sitting on the bench right there. Over there is going to have, I think it's 3 different pink reminiscent roses, but I also purchased a reminiscent coral, a flavorette peared, a flavorette apricot rose, and the flavorette versions from Proven Winners you can actually eat. Not that I'm gonna go scarf on my roses outside, but I thought it was fun to purchase those, and I'm excited to see them. They look really pretty. So again, this project, most of my plants are gonna be here next Tuesday and Thursday, and I've ordered these. Some of them were last December. So anyways, I'm not surprised they're coming, but there's going to be a lot all at once. So again, this is my top priority. This again is going to have one of the round beds turned over, one of these flipped over on its side with correlated, that's not the right word, metal on the inside, and then soil. And I think it's going to be about 10 inches in height, and then soil on the inside. I'm going to keep the square we're going to cover the actual fire pit itself with plywood, paint it black, and we have another row to put of the bricks here, paint that black. A fountain's going on top of that, then the 10-foot radius circle around the entire thing, and then boxwoods and those oh so easy Italian ice roses. So I didn't use my gimbal today, which you're probably gonna be able to tell. We're not gonna judge. So you guys, that concludes today's short, well, it's 20-minute video, it's not too short, video of what our progress looks like right now as we walk through the garden. Just really excited. I will probably try to do some more videos in between. I don't like to do videos where I'm actually in the project and in the mud per se, but I do want to give you some updates. And if you're curious on how my husband installs these arbors, which we do sell, but only for Oregon and Washington because we can't ship them, they're heavy. So you actually have to come pick them up or meet us. So if you're in another state, just come see me. They're not very expensive actually, and they're made out of steel. So anyways, we did a video of this with my husband actually installing it. If you guys want to say kudos to John, because these are amazing, really, really pretty once you have climbing roses going over them. Beautiful. He also built me this obelisk and that one over there using the same steel. And this is rusted steel, which we love. We actually like that natural look. We painted, there's a black one back there that we did as well. And I apologize. I said I was done, but I forgot to show you what else that I did last weekend. If you're over 50 and you, well, it doesn't probably matter what age, but as you age in particular, I forget, I used to be able to like weed so much in a day, just do so much cleanup, but now I've got to break it up in sections. I could barely walk Sunday evening and Monday just because of this. So all of these beds have been cleaned out, and I really cleaned up my sage. It was just a little wild, a little bit beastly. So I pruned it back hard. And let me show you this really quick. Remember I said I didn't know if we lost our Zephyr and Druin. Part of it was just covered up with other dead foliage from other plants, but look how tall and beautiful she is, and so much healthier than she was last year. Last year I thought she was gonna die. She also had powdery mildew, and she just looks so much better, and I haven't even fertilized her yet, so that's coming up soon. This is gonna be moved somewhere. I bought a Sensation honeysuckle. Not sure exactly where I'm gonna put that. So as you can see, we have been super busy on our property, beautifying our land, especially our rock garden in the front. I need to come up with a name. This bed back here, I will confess, it's still a hot mess. I still need to work on it. But there's my bag for hope. So maybe that'll be a sign that I do something soon, but we've got to get the front stuff done just because we have plants coming, but I need to put some of them out here. So this will get cleaned up, not done quite yet. I do have some calendulas that are blooming though. I thought that was kind of sweet. And then if I come over here, I will quickly show you. Oh, the flowers fell off. Oh, that's so sad. This is hi puppies. This is a new geranium to me that was just blooming the other day, but the rain took it down, or it just was time for it to expire. So that's okay. The other thing I'll mention very quickly, and then I promise, I really do promise, I'm gonna let you guys go. That bed back there is still a mess as well. So I still need to tackle that. But again, there's only so many hours in a day. Need to power wash our concrete as well. But that, you guys, concludes today's garden walkabout or garden tour. I just wanted to share with you all of the projects that we have. If you have not liked, I need you to like, but mainly if you have not subscribed, please do so. We're still trying to build up this channel, and I'll tell you what, I will say we had 155. I think we're at 353 now, which that sounds like a very small number, but I am so thankful to all of you guys who have subscribed. I want to take you guys on our journey to share what we're doing. I love gardening so much. You guys can learn with me, but I also feel like I've been gardening for about 30 years, and I can still share lots of tips and tricks with you guys, and also some silly humor and nonsense in the process. So thank you guys so much. Again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, primarily subscribed, most of my viewers, I have quite a few viewers that watch the videos but don't subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so you don't miss anything. And it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. If you want to see something pretty, not, spring waking up and projects, go take a look at my June, July, or August videos. They're absolutely beautiful. It'll give you an idea of what things look like. And I did edit things out. Again, that's where the new boxwoods went. I took out the globe thistle that was gonna kind of choking out my ruby red falls, and I took the grass out there. And as I mentioned, I planted it out on the other side of that. So that, you guys, concludes today's walkabout. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day, and I will do a recap of what we do. Hopefully we get a bunch of stuff done in the next couple days. It is Friday, first day of spring, so happy spring, everyone. Take care, and I'll talk to all of you guys soon. Bye.